So when we first started, we were talking about like the pentatonic scale and then moving the different patterns. Did I follow up with the PDF with like all the patterns, or you already
You
knew?
did, yeah, you did,
Yeah, okay,
you
cool.
did, yeah, you did,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's been a busy
So
week for
I,
me. So I'm like,
that's all good. So I just actually I didn't move much beyond the second position. I just
gotcha.
stayed between the first and second.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's see where that's at.
Okay. Uh,
Yeah, good. Hmm. Yeah, yeah,
and
man.
that's the and this is the original one, right?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah, that's the original one.
Yeah.
That's looking so good. Your hands, like your left hand is looking superb, and I kind of like what you're doing with the, plucking with the thumb and the index, right, to get the alternate
Okay.
picking. That's
Yeah.
totally cool. Plus, like that's like the John Mayer thing. The
Yeah,
perfect
yeah,
hand
yeah.
position and speed is not something that I particularly care about. Like, yeah, I can play like fast, but not like virtuoso fast. I wouldn't say. Like put me next to like John Pertucci, and I would just feel really small and slow.
Yeah.
but that's great. So that's looking good. Some exercises that you can do with that, of course, is like grab a backing track in A minor, right, or C
Yeah.
major, and then go
Yeah.
like see if you can just continue just 8 notes.
Hmm. Just go back and forth.
Yeah, just to like so that those pathways are solidified. And basically what we're trying to do, right, is just get you like in any playing position, in
Yeah.
any key that you are not going, oh, I do I change string or do I slide down? It's just this thing of being freely just slide up and down as you please.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So check this one
Perfect.
out. Now I want to do the fifth pattern. The
Okay.
fifth pattern is my favorite because it's super easy. And then we're going to take fragments of the fifth pattern and the second pattern, and we're going to
Okay.
piece that together so you can see that, because, you probably already discovered that there's some spots where it's awkward to slide,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Which spots feel uncomfortable to you when you're sliding?
Uh, to s- oh, I think when I go between, no, no,
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anytime there's this like that big stretch right there, not a good time. So
Yeah.
so now I'm going to show you how to avoid that. So fifth pattern is, we're going to start an octave below, right? So but it would still be the fifth pattern again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got myself a G, got myself a G. I actually,
Yeah.
for the most part, play this pattern all the time when I play my pentatonic scale. Like very rarely do I actually start it here.
Okay.
I love starting here and then sliding up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I hear it. I hear it now. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that makes perfect sense. Two things, right? Like the phrasing part of it. I just love that.
So
Hmm.
when you play a pentatonic, you said so. We're learning. So is this the first position
Yep.
then?
Hmm.
This is the second position.
Yep.
Hey.
Hmm.
And so this is the fifth position.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I get it now.
Yep.
Okay.
You got it. Yep.
Yeah.
Because it's
Yeah.
starting before, right? And we're just literally like numbering the notes in the scale. 1, 2, 3,
Yeah.
4, 5. And
Five. Yeah. You're starting with the fifth.
so, and yeah, and again, like the reason why I love it so much is because when you do this, right, like now you're limited to only resolving from here. Whereas when I do this one, now I can go from above and below.
Below. Okay, no, makes sense.
And it's easier to play because it's again that like two finger stretch, only one fret in between. And this pattern is super symmetrical, as in it is symmetrical. And it's easy to play. So this one is going to be 3-5-3-5, and then 2-5-2-5,
Oh.
and 2-5.
3-5-3-5.
Yeah, and then 2-5. Yeah, 2-5. Mm-hmm. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow, this is like I should have learned this a long time ago.
That's kind of the magic of this, right? It's like, trust me, when I learned the 5 boxes, I was like, what? And this was like 8 or 9 years into my like guitar playing journey, right? And I was like already in college doing classical guitar, and like did not for a second think about these pentatonic boxes, And then one day I just learned it and I was like, wow, I'm like halfway through my degree and I'm still stupid, like that was the feeling.
So I have a question. So do we play the pentatonics in when say all 5 positions? So if this is the G, so if you then that would be the 5th position. So if you start on the A, that's going to be the 6th position. Is it the 6th position? How is that? Because you're starting on A, right? And isn't A the 6th in the Nashville numbering system, or do we not follow that?
Yeah, so we're not thinking about it that way. That's a really good question, though. Really, like, because we are technically thinking of this as being an A minor. And if it's in a minor key, we would be thinking of the minor as 1.
Yeah.
So in a sense, you are correct. Yeah, because when we're starting on the 3rd note, the 3rd position, that is starting, or sorry, the 2nd. Oh, and that's another problem too, right? Like we're literally just saying, hey, I'm taking the shape that corresponds to the 1st note in the scale, the shape that corresponds to the 2nd note, even though from an intervallic perspective, this is the 3rd.
Yeah, no, makes sense.
Yeah, so that's why it's confusing. Sometimes people say position for this. Sometimes they say box shape. Sometimes they say pattern. All interchangeable words. That is just, hey, there's 5 patterns that I can use, and they all fit into one another perfectly. Yeah.
Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes sense.
That's a really good question, though, because you're absolutely right. Like, if we're thinking, especially Nashville number system, that's so often thinking about like C as the 1, like major being 1.
Yeah.
Then this would be 6, and this would be 5, and this would be 4. And we're gonna get into that too, because there's a lot of awesome stuff that we can talk about, like with that stuff and modes and stuff. Like when you hear modes, you get like really like, whoa, these are these like hard things.
Yeah.
But modes are actually not that hard at all. Yeah. But
sweet.
But that's awesome. So this one is the 5th pattern because it's starting on the 5th note of the pentatonic scale. Yeah. And when I think about this one in my brain, I just think, short, short, long, long, short, short.
Yeah, it's so simple, eh? Yeah. It's not like this one.
Yeah. I give you guys the hard ones first, so.
Oh, that's good. I like it. I like it that way.
Yeah. You got a really fast thumb. That's impressive. Like, yeah, the way that you're doing that, I'm like, oh, I don't think I can. At that speed, it's like, Wes Montgomery style. I like it.
Oh, is it? I don't know. I actually genuinely I couldn't find my pick. That's why.
I love it. No, you should check out Wes Montgomery. I'll send you a link. Wes Montgomery, jazz guitar player, plays only with his thumb and still like shreds. And you're just like, and this is like.
So does. Mm-hmm. Oh, is he like George Benson? Because I know like George Benson. He does a lot of this.
Sure.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah.
Absolutely right. Cool. So this one I just do the same thing with, right? And it gets a little bit tricky right here because you get that, you know, and then, but then you're gonna find some spots where you're like, wait, that's very comfortable.
Yeah.
Right. Stuff
so so if you when you're playing the pentatonic, right, since it starts on a G, sorry,
no, you're good.
Since we're starting on a G, isn't it technically unresolved?
Yeah.
And that's fine, like it's very common in a pentatonic sheet not to resolve it. Like here it's fine, right? Here it sounds like a, but here it ends on this, right?
Yeah. So
and that's totally fine.
That's totally fine when we're practicing the patterns, but you're absolutely right. Like in a musical situation, I mean, I often started here because G is such a low tension spot, but we still want to be cognizant of where the roots are.
Okay.
So that when I'm phrasing, or I know where I'm phrasing to.
Okay. Okay. Cool.
But for pattern purposes, we're just going for, you know, we're just learning the pattern.
Yeah.
And then, you know, if I'm playing, so like the third pattern, right? That's the third pattern. Now when I'm playing guitar and I'm just soloing, here I went from, you know, third, second, first.
Yeah. To the. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Perfect. I get it.
So that's where we're going. Excellent. First, we just have to learn the patterns and then sort of like how to switch between them.
Okay. Cool. So I'm just gonna do the same thing as before. No.
You don't have to do the full scale. Like I don't really care. Like I just want to see you like shift and then be able to go back. Yeah. Yeah, and then try and descend as well because it's gonna feel different. Yeah, it sounds so good. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There you go. Exactly. Yeah, and that was really cool, the end phrasing. Yeah. It's so awesome when you already have phrasing, like you have good phrasing, and now you're just like, boom, just extending it to the full thing.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to show you one more thought process that I have when I'm then trying to like move across the fretboard. Because what you probably already discovered is that's uncomfortable. You know, all these like big. So what I try to do to the best of my ability is I try to stick it within just a 2-fret span.
Okay.
So when I'm making these pathways, of course, that doesn't mean I can't, you know, can't do other stuff. But I try to create pathways where I'm only moving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I see. So how can you show me a starting point from that?
Yeah, so I'm starting on G. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I go right up to A, and then I just do the 3, 5, so the C and the D. Now I slide up.
Yeah.
And then I go, you know, now it'd be G and A again. Yeah. Yeah. So it actually ends up being so G and A here, and then C and D on the 3rd string. Yeah. There we go.
Okay. Oh, I see. I see. You're only going to stretch.
Yeah, exactly. And it actually creates this pattern that like a lot of YouTube videos that you might have seen is like, oh, extend your pentatonic scales, do this easy like 2 and then 3 pattern, right? 1, 2,
Okay,
3,
so that's what.
1. Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. And now you have this extended pattern that also sounds really nice because you know. So
Okay, sweet.
that's sort of how I think about it. Now we're gonna piece in. We'll have time for the third pattern too, because you're just like rocking these patterns like it's the easiest thing in the world. So that's kind of cool.
Okay.
So like when I'm moving up the fretboard, right? Like I try to think about that a lot because this is like a symmetrical shape. When I get to the top, what ends up happening is like because the guitar is it's not conducive to like do this, right? Like that's kind of hard to play scale fast. So what I do is I go, okay, well then I'm just gonna descend a little bit. And then I get the same thing. So now I can go. Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Nice.
And like
that's amazing.
I have full faith that you're gonna be able to do this in like 2 weeks tops, you know?
Okay, sweet. No, that's really awesome. No, I get it. So when you're going from that position, you're descending back to this position.
Yeah. So I'm just ascending through the position. So what I'll do is I'll get to the top. Now I'll just descend through the position that I just got to. Yeah.
Can you show me that again?
Yeah.
Right there?
And this box, because I haven't shown you this pattern yet, right? But this box is, I'm going, 12, 10, 13, 10. Yeah. And then it's going to be 12, 9. This one's a little weird. 9. Yeah. And then it's great because then it's just 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 10.
Oh, is it?
12?
12, 10?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. That's where like the 2 odd ones are in a weird shifty position.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on the E it's
12, 10. Yes.
Okay.
You already got it. So I don't know if you know this, but you got 4 out of 5 of those patterns down already now.
Okay, yeah. Oh, sweet, yeah. I'm gonna slow it down.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yes. And this one I just think of like if I'm making a visual representation in my head, right? I'm like, okay, this is the one where I can go.
Yeah.
And then I go, okay, and this is the one where like I do have to do those long ones, and those 2 ones that are long, instead of being symmetrical, now they're in a weird space. Like they're shifted.
Yeah. So would you do the same thing, like same thing
Yeah.
It's the same thing, right? Okay, perfect.
Yeah, and even better, right? It's like now that you know those positions, that's a little awkward, but you can do it.
Perfect. Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
John, you're a champ, man.
That's what you're getting out of it, right? Like it's like, oh, all these things that I've heard that I don't understand how people can do it. This is exactly how they do it, and it's not even that hard, right? Like
it's not complicated.
Yeah.
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 Okay, and from that position.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Okay. So from this position.
Mm-hmm. You're a popular dude, man. Got your 2 cell phones, got the
I got my personal phone and my work phone.
I dig it. That's funny.
Okay. So after this position.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And where do I go from here?
Yeah, so the next position, the 4th one, is I'll just show them to you, and then I'll show you like what I have connected. Actually, that thing that I wrote out too, it's written out in the tabs that I sent you. So
okay.
you can totally just look at that. But yeah, the next position is now 12, 15, 12, 15.
12, 15.
Yeah. And then 12, 15 again. Yeah. Yeah. And then it's 12, 14, 12, 14. Yeah. And then it's 13, 15. Yeah. And then 12, 15. Yeah. But what's funny again in like my guitar thing was I learned this one, you know, first position, the one that we played for 10 years before we realized that like there's more stuff. And then I learned this one, the 4th position. And the reason why I learned the 4th position, probably like in hindsight, it's because this one is pretty much the exact same pattern as here.
Yeah.
Except I'm starting on the 5th string, and this gets shifted over one. The one where, you know. So that's what I was visualizing when I first did this. And I first started.
I know, I get it.
Yep. So that's my visualization.
So it's gonna be. Mm-hmm. Okay. No, I get it now. So 12, 50, no 12.
Yeah.
Is that it?
That's it. Yeah. And then again, because you already know the 5th pattern. Careful on that one. 5th pattern, right? Remember the 5th pattern?
Oh, sorry.
No, 5th pattern is going to start here.
Oh, it's going to be the same thing as this one.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then. Oh my gosh. Okay. No, I get it.
Yeah. See it? It's like, whew.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
And it's so fun, right? When you're like, oh, this is how that works, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's really crazy. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's cool for me because, like, you know, selfishly for me, being able to show people this and like see how like exciting it is, and also like how exciting it is for me to like see that happen, right? And just the way it happened for me, like I have like the most selfish job on the planet Earth because I get to see this in 30-minute increments all throughout my day, you know.
Yeah, you know, that's awesome. No, I'm so excited. No, that really just opens up so many things. Like, you know, I can play pentatonic from here, from here, from here. You know, it just keeps going, right?
Yeah, it just keeps going, and then you combine it with knowing the chord tones, right? And being able to play a C. If I'm playing C right here, then obviously this is the C, the one that I'm using. And if I'm playing it over here, then I can, you know. So now you can connect chords too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I usually have my 10 natural tendencies. Even if I'm playing C, I want a higher pitched like pentatonic. I have to go all the way here.
Yeah.
But I can just go over here. This like it's actually
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, amazing. So okay, awesome.
So that's your work for this week, right? Like your work is, now that you know the 5 patterns, I have them written out for you too. Practice switching
Yeah.
between them. And then practice, you'll see it in the extended idea. But this one has been really crucial for me, where I'm just sort of like running through that like from the bottom to the top. That's
Yeah.
a really good
Do you
exercise.
have that written down on a tab?
Yeah, and I
Oh, you
sent it
do. Okay.
to you already, I
Okay. Okay.
think.
Cool.
So then, so that I would do, and then what I want you to start seeing is, oh, see, you and I have to think about it sometime. But to where you're starting to like, oh, I can move up these positions, so that when I'm over here, and we're gonna take some exercises too. A couple other things that you can also imply from this, right, is like the one string solo, which is all
Yeah.
about just slipping and sliding between the patterns that you already know.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
that's beautiful. No, I totally get that. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot of work I need
Yeah.
to put in just because it's. I've never been able to have that access to
Yep.
go through my fretboard. No, no, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's going to
Hey,
be awesome.
can I request you